Hi folks, I am 12MJRPMDS14. You can either call me 12, 12MJ, or MJ. And I'm just making another VRchat video, but it's not necessarily a tutorial this time round. It's more so just checking out any new updates in VRchat over here. And as you can see, compared to the previous VRchat videos, there used to be the avatar face mirror over here, which was placed in the former updates. But this new update, it switched the VRchat face mirrors to view the avatars on this corner here, which I'm using show taps mode here. And there's settings for this, even though I have more so shown it before. But here's a bit more of the in-depth settings for this one. I can turn it off so that it cannot be seen. And then I can turn it back on. I can reduce the opacity to, let's say, 55%. And this is basically it. It looks more like a ghost, judging from the transparency of my avatar's face mirror. Especially if you want to see what your avatar looks like, but you don't want the view to be obscured by some extent, and you can adjust the opacity to what you need essentially. But if you want to see your full avatar in basically the normal a opaque view, then you can just essentially set it back to 100. Especially if your avatar has things on it, if you're in VRchat worlds that affect your avatar in some way, playing games as an instance. And here is 0%, which is basically non-existent. And going back to 100, there's the size over here, which I can go from 0 to 100, which kind of looks like this. Yeah, I would only recommend using this kind of view if you're basically in need of seeing your avatar up close. For whatever reason, if you don't think that personal mirror is gonna help you out in some way. So yes, and strangely, Sally over here seems to have some fur texture, but it is quite interesting for this type of avatar. So I'm going to reduce it back to 0%. And this is what it looks like in this kind of view. And then the next would be the zoom feature, which would look like this when it's 100%. And yes, it seems like Sally's neck is the one in view, supposedly. Oh wait, no, it's actually her eyes, up close. Not necessarily preferable, unless you want to do it for whatever reason, gags, or because you have different avatars of different sizing. So this is what it looks like when it's somewhere around 55%. It's just head view so far. And like back to this. Like this is my preferred view of like seeing my avatar for the most part. Mainly because like this view is like small enough to like view the state of my avatar, as well as like the size being like small enough to not obscure my view. And if like anything happens to my avatar, like she can look like this. And especially if the cases are like using a face tracking feature on the camera, like it's also good to like know if you have like avatar rig hang problems, which is basically it. And like so far we technically have like this world over here, which is like one of my new favorites. Like basically it's only a VR chat world of like only pens, like a media video player, and like a mirror of sorts. And like the world size is like very small and like kind of like fast to load in that case. And so far, like this world, as it states in this description, it has like a custom VR chat markers over here. And this is the said name of the world. And so far, it has like its own kind of media player of sorts with its own kind of menu. And like, there's also this mirror toggle of sorts, which shows a second mirror, but this mirror is more so transparent compared to this mirror, which is the normal mirror. So that's basically what's in this part of the world. And then like this feature is like basically like the very like a link like a input to like select like any like video you found on YouTube. And so far, compared to like some of the other like worlds, like its URL is like rather clean, which is quite good. So that like it won't bring confusion for like some users who like basically like try out like this world for like just viewing, while like basically like using like these colored pens over here. Like I love these like markers essentially due to the fact that they are like diverse in color, like one of the like only few sets that are wide enough in color. So I'm going to turn off mirror, mainly because like we already have like one, and the said mirror is like blocking the view of some parts of the menu every time I move around. And like as far as I remember what I said in my tutorial, like these pens are like different in like terms of use and like how you use them. And unfortunately, as I also stated in my VR chat tutorial before about the world pens in VR chat, uh, if you're using VR chat mobile, you sadly cannot be able to like draw normally, because like you don't have like the ability to use like your avatar arms to like draw normally. Only like the VR headset works. Like desktop also has the same problem as mobile, but at least desktop has like a computer shortcuts that benefit like mobile users. And so far I'm doing like a small circle, like a swatch sketch of the color black. And so far, like, this color is quite good. And I'm basically just trying to, like, swatch some, like, colors over here. Like, the downside of, like, this world is that, like, because, like, this is a different, like, like a custom set of, VRChat, world pens, like, you don't have the ability to, like, put them back, like, automatically with this respawn feature. So you're going to need to, like, place the pens back in there yourself. But at the very least, like, there's the, like, advantage of, like, a wider color palette, including a gradient of sorts. I'm probably going to only swatch, like some of my favorite colors right here. And I'll probably pick this as my preferred choice of pink. And like the other one over there is like a basically like looking a bit more skin tone as opposed to like pink colored. It's like leaning a peach, which is why I didn't necessarily choose it. Even though this is more like a lilac or light violet color, it's still quite a nice like set. And like I believe like some colors are somewhat duplicated, but it may seem that way, but they're actually like kind of different in color. So like not to be fooled. Like that usually happens sometimes with like custom sets of pens. They don't always like match like the color of the like actual like pens like colored output compared to like the said pens like appearance color. So basically here, and then like this color which looks leaning towards like a peach or apricot or like a some sort of like a light tan of sorts. And technically these type of pens have their own custom erasers, like the erasers as it states in like these instructions over there: draw to flip to erase, which the ends are like the erasers essentially. And I'm picking this shade of green, just the right darkness amount. Like so far, despite me like having trouble like using like said pens, like I would like want to like learn how to like draw them within VRChat mobile. I would consider like that for my case to be like a skill issue of mine, even though like in actuality it's more so like a problem that like VRChat probably should have catered to. Probably have the ability to like let people use avatars without like needing like a VR headset, but it's understandable why the VR headsets are the most recommended due to the fact that people want to have full on body immersion within a virtual world. Even though there's also the argument, which is also valid, that like a with like any device, like you can essentially have any kind of like a virtual world, like especially for the case of video games of sorts. And like I believe I want to add like a few more colors of my preferred choice. I'll probably add this magenta shade. Sometimes I like accidentally keep clicking on the UI when I'm trying to move my avatar's like own hand view, which can be one of the downsides of dealing with like VR chat worlds. But that's more so considered a nitpick for the majority, unless you're playing games which do actually hinder your play experience. And I'm picking this shade of tan as well. Basically doing this kind of swatching. And probably throw in my preferred shade of lime. Lime green, that is. And probably just kept swatching this one. And then lastly, I'm going for like this shade of cyan or teal. Mm-hmm. And that's basically the swatch of my 16 favorite colors here so far. Probably one of the good wide color palettes from each of them. But basically the downsides of these colors though, well, besides when you're unable to use the eraser and with being stuck on mobile or desktop and using said VR chat world pens, and anybody who enters this world, there's a chance that there's gonna be some nasty folks who would basically use it for basically trying to made some nasty art of sorts, or be a lewd or offensive or so on, which yeah, that's gonna be rightfully problematic. So that's basically like uh, the concerns of that, especially for the case of colors that are near to the skin tone based colors, like uh this strange reddish shade of brown. But people would potentially use this one and probably the other shades of brown up here in this section for making smooth art. Same goes for this a kind of a reddish apricot of sorts, and even tan over here would also be susceptible for basically the problems like people making some nasty lewd art in VR chat. But it's gonna be difficult to moderate that, other than the fact that VR chat's more so aimed for older audiences. And people who are willing to have photo and video evidence being carefully and secretly taken to report said nasty folks is like a disturbing like a drawing based content in VRChat. And like yeah, also trolling is another factor, even though it's like a less severe than the previous concerns and worries I have. But like it still can be like a considered nuisance if like people like did it on purpose to like spite uh people, or worse, like hurt people that like anger them. So this is basically like uh what I have to like say on that in terms of like the VR chat world pens in like concerns. But other than that, like these like are great tools essentially. Like in terms of like creativity, especially if you're like visualizing ideas over here. And also I want to test like the out of bounds like a map like situation on how far I can go. Like going beyond the map. So I'm gonna try that until my avatar like falls off. Because like that always usually happens. Especially for the case of like checking worlds that have like a big map sizes. Because like for the most part, like as you can see, like there is technically a certain distance for going out of bounds in this side of the map. And like so far like even though this world looks small, its floor size is actually large. Though like it's technically not like not necessarily that recommended unless like your avatar of choice is rather a huge one, which I'll like demonstrate here. Like and like yeah, like that's probably one of the reasons why this world has like a larger floor than initially thought. Like I've seen like avatars bigger than this that like the max size of like 5 meters. There's like custom avatars of custom like sizes that can go for like essentially like over like 50 to like 60 plus meters that I saw so far. Though like if you intend to like make small worlds like for like normal avatars and like don't want to like create like problems with uh like uh, in terms of, like creating memory issues like probably a good idea to like consider like the size of the VR chat world before you start making it, and like a like try to accommodate like avatars of all different sizes. And so far like testing like the out of bounds, like very much like it accommodates much larger avatars of this size, especially when roaming around, which is quite good at the very least. Like I have seen like some worlds that are like closed in rooms, but they won't necessarily accommodate avatars of large sizes, but at least there's like the height adjustment tool of sorts can like help like for like each like VR chat worlds that they're in, which is quite good. But still like for like chances are if some people are like too stubborn to like or like those who like just want their avatars in their actual like sizes for their own like reasons, then probably like a think about if you're going to create like either a closed room with a ceiling that's like a normal height of sorts, or like a low ceiling or high ceiling. Like if you're planning for said VR chat world to like be for a specific purpose that requires accommodation of like different sizes, you might as well need to like take off the roof. And if you like also like are one of those people who want to have like open sky boxes, even though this is necessarily a dark room in this VR chat world, like you can't just like remove the walls, since like a skybox like is much more like a nicer. But in terms of like ease on implementing a skybox, I don't necessarily have like that much knowledge in terms of like creating VR chat worlds. Like probably only like a assumptions from, and like a educated guesses on my part in terms of my thinking and the viewpoint as like an average like a VR chat user and artist, and also like not like a enthusiast of virtual worlds of sorts. So like that's basically what I have to like essentially say about like this kind of update. Like it doesn't seem substantial, but basically it's like a noticeable enough update, and like checking out like some things about like some of the VR chat pens, and like checking out like some of the worlds. Well, more so this world only so far. But I have like shown like other worlds that I was in like my VR chat tutorials. So like that's that's very much the end for this like a video as of now. Later folks, and thanks for viewing this video as of now. Later.